warm welcome to you all as you join us. This is the Ogtv News. I am Mojisola Shulaja. Tonight, Jumoke Akiwumi assumes office as Director General, Bureau of Lands and Survey in Ogun State. Nigeria Labour Congress holds protest across the country over new minimum wage. United States downgrades EU diplomatic status in Washington. The men who succeed are the efficient few. They are the few who have the ambition and willpower to develop themselves. Most welcome once again, Architect Jumoke Akiwumi, the General Manager of Ogun State Housing Corporation, has taken over as the Director General, Bureau of Lands and Survey in the state. At the handing over meeting held at Okemoson, Abeokuta, the new Director General says it behoves on the Bureau to continue giving better service in all areas of land management, using methods of target achievement as well as efficient service delivery. Charity James reports.
Director General of Lands and Survey in Ogun State, Architect Jumoke Akiwumi, got to a new duty post in the waiting arms of staff of our office. Thereafter, proceeded for a meeting with directors, special advisors, as well as head of departments in the Bureau. In attendance was also the former Director General of the Bureau, Honorable B. Ismail, who was there to do the official handing over.
Appealing that the same support is extended, the same kind of friendship, fellowship, brotherhood, please do the same to make this job an easy one for her. I'm going further to contest for a position at Trident. I can't but to thank His Excellency also for this opportunity.
As the new Director General of Lands and Survey, the anticipation is to achieve excellent service, build on working policies, while also giving assurances to the citizens on land management issues.
For our state, this is an excellent lifeline for us. It's not about milking the people or investors, but really we have a good platform to present what majority wants. Excellent service, good locations, good access to markets, access to raw materials. We have to take full advantage of it, or we have to continue to take full advantage of it.
Then, a good working relationship was assured by senior officers.
I want to assure you of our cooperation, our support. That I believe with your support in helping us to resolve those little challenges that we have at the end of the service.
The template for lands and survey in the state is to demonstrate that clients are right, targets must be achieved, while changing mindset of people about government-owned institutions through efficient work ethics by all its departments. Architect Jumoke Akiwumi, DG Lands and Survey, is to work at the Bureau for the rest of the Senator Ibikule Amoso's administration. Honorable B. Ismail, the former DG Lands and Survey, resigned from the cabinet as a result of his interest to run for a political post. Charity James, Ogtv News.
In its drive at boosting economic activities in Ogun State, the government is intensifying efforts at completing the new semi-mechanized abattoir in Lafenwa, Abeokuta, and the state government has been commended for the modern abattoir, which will improve public health and enhance socio-economic development in the state. Shemilore Amore reports.
In a bid to ensure that traders do their business in a conducive, secured and healthy environment, construction work has reached advanced stage as the semi-mechanized abattoir in Lafenwa, Abeokuta is wearing a new look. The much anticipated abattoir is nearing completion as traders await commencement of operations, as it is projected to create more jobs for the teeming youth and ensure hygienic meats are produced for people's consumption. Foreman at the construction site, while speaking on the level of work, states that the project will be completed in record time, with modern equipment to complement operations.
àǹfààní tó wà ń bẹ̀ ni pé a ní jẹ ẹran tí ó lòkúta. àǹfààní tó wà ń bẹ̀ ni pé ibi bíi tí wọ́n bá ti parí rẹ̀ ẹran tó ní àìsàn a ní jẹ. tí wọ́n bá ti lè ń pa ẹran níbí ní wákàtí kó tó di pé ẹran wọlé sínú slaughter hall ibi tí a ń pè ní họ́ọ̀lù ibi tí wọ́n ti máa pa ẹran ní ìkórìtà ibi tí a wà ní àwọn dókítà wọ́n ti tẹ́ẹ̀sì ẹ̀ sí ẹran yìí yẹ ká pa á àbí kò yẹ ká má pa á sí ẹran yìí yẹ ní jíjẹ àbí ẹran yóò yẹ láti jẹ.
Traders in their submissions laud the state government in its efforts at improving the socio-economic lives of the people.
Senator Ìbùkúnlé Amosu Ikililu àwọn náà máa jẹ́ gómìnà àkọ́kọ́ nínú gbogbo gómìnà tí ó ti ń jẹ ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn tí wọ́n ń ro èròǹgbà sí àwa ẹlẹ́ran. Inú gbogbo alápatà ló dùn wípé irú iṣẹ́ yìí tó bá jẹ́ nǹkan tó ti wà tipẹ́tipẹ́ ni àwọn èèyàn ò ní mú complaint kankan wá lórí ẹran tí àwọn èèyàn ń jẹ káàkiri ní.
Ẹ̀yà tí ọ̀tún ṣe kọ̀ fún wa yìí tó jẹ́ pé ti gbàlódé tó jẹ́ pé wíwẹ̀ wà l'Amẹ́ríkà wà London tó yẹ táwa tó lọ Saudi náà tá a rírú ẹ̀ ó wá dùn mọ́ wá pé gọ́vùnà Ìbíkúnlé Amósùn ó yẹ wọn gbàgbé àwa náà ní Ògùn state wọ́n wá ṣerú abatí ọ̀nà báyìí tó wá ṣe fún wa so inú wa dùn àdàmọ̀ kó máa pọ́n iṣẹ́ wa lé òótọ́ lè ṣe fún tó wá kí iṣẹ́ wa tó máa tún tẹ̀síwájú Ọlọ́run wá jẹ́ kó pẹ́ fún wa lágbára Ọlọ́run.
Director of Veterinary Service Ogun State, Dr. Dotun Shorunke, affirms that the state government is committed to improving the public health of its people.
The future benefit is high. We are going to train and retrain them in adopting new ways, new methods of doing things. We need to move away from the old methods of slaughtering. We are going to be hoisting here, and with modern methods, through rails, and so that at the end of the day, the meat will be frozen in the chamber. So we are already engaging them.
He added that the abattoir is a veritable place for disease to spread quickly to the populace. Therefore, the state government is proposing intervention in 5 cities across the state to prevent occasional disease of unknown origin that could arise. Shemilore Amore, Ogtv News.
Peace and conflict are two sides of a coin that needs to be handled with care and sincerity of heart for economic and developmental growth of any nation or community. A cross-section of Nigerians who spoke with Ogtv News in Abeokuta metropolis noted that management on peace and conflict is everybody's business. Elizabeth Esson reports.
Peace is what brings about development and growth in any setting that is made up of different individuals from different ethnic or religious background. In a nation like Nigeria, there is need for peaceful coexistence among all citizens for it to survive and be free of crisis of any form.
The whole essence of it is to ensure that peace is ensured. There's peaceful coexistence of all and sundry, especially of all that coexist in our society, both husband and wife, employers and employee, students and teachers. And so we must nip it in bud on time.
Do you listen to people? Do you talk to people? Do you hear people's opinion? And it's from there you manage the society to be peaceful. Your word determines the peace in the land.
To achieve this peace, informed the creation of Unit for Peace and Conflict Management by some of the law enforcement agencies in Nigeria to preach peace and settle disputes among members of the public.
Bringing people to say that they come to the table and everybody try to leave out anger, ego, miss some things to allow the other person also have a say.
All conflicts should be resolved amicably between the parties involved. It's only when they cannot manage it that it leads to a third-party intervention. And that is the whole essence of ADR. That is an alternative to dispute resolution going to court or going to police station whereby there will be prosecution of one party for the other. The third party intervention is a situation whereby you now have somebody like us coming into it to mediate or to negotiate and resolve their differences.
Speaking on peace and conflict management, a legal practitioner also lent his voice.
The only way to sustain peace is for all the people in society to love peace. And if there is justice, of course, peace will continue. And what is justice? Of course, justice is relative. Is a relative term. Well, just give what people deserve. Give to them what they deserve. Of course, the peace will continue.
A crisis-ridden society will always experience setbacks in all its endeavors. Hence, there is need for all Nigerians to brace up to the challenge of ensuring peace at all times. Elizabeth Eson, Ogtv News.
Ogun State government has called on residents of the state to be wary of politicians going round to buy permanent voter cards from unsuspecting members of the public. Residents have also been told to be on the lookout for these politicians and report them to security agencies. In a release by the Secretary to the state government, Barrister Taiwo Adoluwa, government reaffirms that this is contrary to the provisions of the Electoral Act and is a criminal act. It adds that the state government is committed to the protection of the laws of the land and the promotion of good conduct in politics. Concerted efforts will be put together to ensure that untapped natural resources along the stretch of Ogun Waterside local government area are harnessed to the advantage of the residents of the zone and Ogun State in general. Allied People's Movement governorship candidate Honorable Adekunle Abdulkabir Akinlade stated this while addressing the people in the area as part of his campaign tour ahead of the March 2nd gubernatorial election. Peter Falomo reports.
It was with pomps as Allied People's Movement loyalists in Ogun Waterside local government area welcomed the campaign train of the party at Iwopen Junction to their council area. The train later proceeded to Makuomi Jetty, where they ferried to Odiomi Ward. The campaign train arrived into the waiting arms of the people at Makuomi and Ifire wards, where the people pledged their support to the APM governorship candidate, Honorable Adekunle Abdulkabir Akinlade. In his address, Honorable Akinlade assures the people of tapping into the natural resources on the land and water flow along the stretch of Ogun Waterside, in addition to other parties' cardinal objectives if voted into power.
Chips, cassava chips. So, tourism so afẹ́ jẹ́ kẹ́ mọ̀ wípé nígbàgbé yín rárá.
So gbogbo fẹ́ ká mọ̀ ní pé àǹfààní ìjọba máa kàn wá lára kíákíá nínú ìjọba títí wa. Èdè àti pé kẹ́ jọ ẹ dúró tì wá ẹ dìbò fún wa kẹ̀rẹ́ ìrísílẹ̀jọ̀ pé àǹfààní gbogbo ọ̀kadà máa gbé wá kò ní kọjá wa lágbára Ọlọ́run. They will come around and lie to you. Do not listen. Vote for APM.
Other wards visited by the campaign train on its day one in Ogun Waterside are Ibiade, Oni, and Iwokwe.
Akinlade is going to be, by God's grace, is going to be our next governor of the state. We believe with food we survive. If there is no food, there is no way for survival. So for that, and more so, we Watersiders, our major work is farming. Mostly in particular this community, our major work is gari, which is cassava. And we believe somebody that is the area that we can make our people to survive.
We like Akilade. And again, you know, he do better for us when he come in. So we have been hearing of him. Now, as we have seen, we've known him as somebody who will do well to this water site.
Peter Farama, Ogtv News.
Minimum wage. Workers protest in Edo, Lagos, Imo, and other states. This and other stories will make up the next segment. Stay with us.
Lagbaja. Omo Baba Muko.
Na Baba be that.
How do I know you are not an impostor? Oya, play me something.
Abba, my band members are all over the world. Let me connect with them on Glow 4G and make some great music for you. Who's on Glow here? I got Glow.
I've got Glow too.
I go show you.
Hello, sir.
Aleki, Gogo, Jide, guitar. Uzo, give me conga. Ahmed, keyboard. 1, 2, 3.
No matter where you are in the world, rest assured, Glow has you covered. Glow Oga SIM, the unrivaled big boss of data. Upgrade to a 4G SIM for free and get 125% bonus. Also enjoy 25% data bonus on all auto renewals. Dial *777# to choose a plan.
You must welcome back if you're just joining us. This is the Ogtv News, reaching you from our studios in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital. Nigeria Labour Congress, NLC, has held a nationwide protest over the 30,000 naira minimum wage for workers in the country. Members of the union assembled at the Labour House in Abuja in the early hours of Tuesday in the commitment to ensuring that the presidency transmits the recommendation of the tripartite committee to the National Assembly. NLC President Mr. Ayuba Waba led the rally as the union members marched across various parts of the nation's capital. The protest by the workers followed a meeting between the federal government, the leaders of the union, presided over by the Minister of Labour and Employment, Chris Ngige, on Monday. Mr. Waba told reporters that after the meeting that the protest is a rally aimed at drawing the attention of all relevant individuals and institutions to the urgent need to transmit the recommended 30,000 naira minimum wage to the National Assembly. In order to ensure good governance in the coming political dispensation in Nigeria, Christians have been admonished to participate in partisan politics, as this will enable them to change the face of politics in the country. The Chairman, Christian Association of Nigeria, Ijebu-Ode area, Reverend Richard Oladele, gave the admonition at the 2019 annual Asiwaju Onigbagbo Ijebuland New Year prayer, organized by Olori Omoba of Ijebuland, Otuba Michael Shubumi Balogun, in collaboration with the Christian Association of Nigeria, Ijebu-Ode area, held at Otumba Shubumi Balogun's residence in Ijebu-Ode.
The annual New Year prayers, put together by the Asiwaju Onigbagbo of Ijebuland, Otumba Michael Shubumi Balogun, was to give thanks to God and seek for his favor in this new year. As Christians, Ijebu Traditional Council and dignitaries converged to praise God. In his exhortation, the Catholic priest, Ijebu-Ode, Reverend Father Vincent Ajayi, reminds Christians to be factual and concise when seeking for God's help.
And so as we begin this new year, let us begin with the Lord. Let us invite him into our homes, to our families, to our occupation. Let us not rely on our own power. Let us always seek his instruction, his face, before we take any serious decision.
In his speech, the camp chairman Ijebu-Ode area, Reverend Richard Oladile, calls on Christians to participate in partisan politics and shun violence in the coming 2019 general elections. Appreciating God's grace over his family, the convener, Otumba Michael Shubumi Balogun, acknowledges his wife's contribution in the annual New Year prayer, adding that it is imperative for him to combine culture and religion, as he is a descendant of Oba Tunwashi in Ijebuland.
Then beyond that, I will want people to remember that the grace of God has been very abundant in my life. All the things I'm doing is not me, it's my God. So I've been chosen by God to be what I am. And whatever nature of your religion, I'm at home with you. Even the pagans, they still refer to Olorun Eda, Orunmila, and everything. For us is to appreciate that there is a supreme being.
Guests were later entertained at a reception organized by the convener.
President Muhammadu Buhari says it will take action on the Inspector General of Police, Ibrahim Idris, soon. Buhari said this during an interview in Abuja. There have been growing demands for the IG, who has reached the retirement age of 60, to step aside. However, there have been speculations that the president is considering extending his tenure till after the elections. When asked his next line of action, Buhari burst into laughter, mocking those who had threatened to take action against him if he refused to sack Idris. He, however, said he was not afraid of the IG and will take a decision soon. Buhari, however, said removing service chiefs or the IG during a time of insecurity is a sensitive matter. President Muhammadu Buhari has denied insinuation that he asked the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, to stop the probe of a former governor of Akwa Ibom State, Senator Godswill Akpabio, after the latter joined the All Progressives Congress last year. Buhari said this during an interview. The president described as unfair allegations that he was protecting some corrupt persons in his government while those in the opposition were being hounded. When asked why Akpabio, who was under probe for allegedly diverting 100 billion naira, was left untouched, Buhari said it did not know, but it did not instruct the EFCC to do so. The president said he had formed the habit of following due process since his ouster as head of state in 1985, when he was fighting corruption through rash methods. When asked if the anti-graft agencies were acting in line with his body language, he said, and I quote, "Why should they fear my body language?" End of quote. The president, Muhammadu Buhari, has cautioned the military in Gabon against any attempt to overthrow the government of the country. He gave the warning in a statement by Senior Special Assistant on Media and Publicity, Garba Shehu. The military officers in Gabon should understand that the era of military coup and government in Africa, and indeed worldwide, is long gone, said President Buhari, who is also the ECOWAS chairman. The president condemned the attempted takeover of the Gabonese government by military officers who seized the state radio station, declaring their dissatisfaction with President Ali Bongo, who is recovering from a stroke in Morocco. In view of the recent influx of IDPs into Maiduguri following Boko Haram attacks in Baga and its environs, the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, has swiftly intervened in providing shelter, food, and other items in some of the designated IDP camps to give them a sense of belonging. The leader of the Special Intervention Team in Maiduguri, Air Commodore Akugwe Yamu, said the agency is fully loaded with all the relief items to sustain the influx. Available statistics from NEMA shows that more than 20,000 IDPs have so far been enumerated in the 4 IDP camps, with a highest number of about 15,000 taking refuge in the Teachers Village camp in Maiduguri. Relief items ranging from mattresses, blankets, buckets to food items were distributed to about 5,000 households in the camps. The IDPs commended the federal government for the prompt interventions in alleviating their plight.
Ina cikin wayanda aka taimakawa. Na fari na samu katifa. Na biyu na samu bargo. Na uku na samu sange. Na hudu na samu sabulu. Za su zo su ba mu abinci.
Amma kuma muna so a ƙara taimaka mana ɗari bisa.
Leader of the Special Intervention Team, Air Commodore Akugwe Yamu, restated the agency's determination to cater for all the enumerated IDPs in the camps.
They're not going to be anything, it's going to be very small. And the items keep coming. As I talk to you now, the store is still very, very full. Very, very full to deal with any other challenges that will come.
We have profiled the new arrivals, we have enumerated them, registered them, and we have been giving them food and non-food items as a way of providing them with means of sustenance, pending when we integrate them into our normal monthly distribution that we provide to the IDPs.
Agencies and the state government were also erecting makeshift tents to provide additional shelters for the IDPs. Army Staff Lieutenant General Tokubu Ratai has said that Operation Python Dance, which started 3 years ago, has successfully curtailed the spread of insecurity in Nigeria. Ratai made the remarks in Birnin Kebbi when he paid a courtesy visit on Governor Abubakar Bagudu of Kebbi State. According to him, apart from providing an opportunity to retrain Nigerian soldiers, the exercise also gives them an avenue to respond to war situations. He commended the state government for collaborating with the army in the areas of road construction, education, and agriculture. Buratai noted that soldiers serving in the state have benefited from the Anchor Boras program of the federal government introduced to boost agriculture in the country. Responding, Bagudu also commended the army for staking their lives to ensure peace and unity in the country. The governor pledged that his administration will continue to collaborate with the military in various sectors of the development of the state and the country. Despite the losses incurred by the Nigerian Air Force in terms of personnel and platforms in the line of duty, the force says it will not be deterred, but will rather double and rededicate efforts to discharging its constitutional roles in the country. This was reaffirmed by the Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar, at the burial of the 5-man helicopter crew that lost their lives in Damask, Borno State. The atmosphere was glooming as it was not the usual platform of induction for breakthroughs in research and development. It was a convergence of the Air Force family, the Minister of Defense, Masur Muhammad Dal Ali, and sister agencies to pay last respect to the heroes who laid down their lives for the peace of the country. Then came the time for Flight Lieutenant Jacob, Flight Lieutenant Kuriofas, Sergeant Ibrahim, Lance Corporal Nura, and Aircraft Man Ismail to be lowered to their final resting place.
Dust to dust.
The families of the fallen heroes were presented with the national colors as a sign of respect and contributions of the departed.
We must throw in everything we have to this fight to ensure that our departed colleagues did not die in vain. All Nigerians need to know that this fight is a national struggle. It's not a fight by the military alone.
The families of the fallen heroes were presented with national colors as a sign of respect and contributions of the departed. May their souls rest in perfect peace. Amen. The 2019 Armed Forces and Remembrance Day celebration will kick off in Ogun State with special Jumat service on Friday, 11th of January at the Central Mosque, Kobiti, Abeokuta at 1 in the afternoon. The interdenominational church service will come up on Sunday, 13th of January 2019 at the Cathedral of St. Peter's, Ake, Abeokuta at 10 in the morning. The Governor of Ogun State, Senator Ibikula Moson, will lead other top government functionaries, traditional rulers, and other distinguished invitees to grace the event. The grand finale comes up on Tuesday, 15th of January at the Arcade Ground, Governor's Office, Okemoson, Abeokuta, at 10 in the morning with a parade by the armed forces, police, and laying of bricks in honor of the fallen heroes. All invited guests, top government functionaries, and civil servants are to be seated 30 minutes before the commencement of the event.